I promise I'll get to some new, unpublished, original content here, but for now let's continue with the throwback series of videos and take a look at the second preparation hike my son Christian and I did leading up to the Zirkel Wilderness trip in the summer of 2011. This one's on the famous, or perhaps infamous, Shawnee Backpack Trail in southeast Ohio. It's probably a good thing that more people didn't watch some of my earliest backpacking videos, because I'm afraid I would have scared off an entire generation of backpackers with this one. And it's also hard to believe that Christian ever wanted to do another trip with me after Shawnee, because this was only his second backpacking trip. And I feel the need to apologize in advance for the rather negative attitude I had throughout this hike. This was the hike where I learned a pretty valuable lesson about backpacking, and that is that the trail is neither for you or against you, it simply is. And you can choose to hike the trail or not, but what you take from it and your attitude about it is completely up to you. I'd like to think that Shawnee is the hike that taught me the lesson that every backpacking trip is something to be cherished. It was the lessons on attitude and outlook that I learned on the Shawnee trip that I think have helped me overcome many challenges throughout the years since then. The 2 days of thick rain on the Four Pass Loop in Colorado, all that rain we had throughout the 2018 season, the hordes of mosquitoes on the first Wind River Range trip, the biblical ticks at the Big South Fork a couple years ago, that really scary night on Boulder Pass, and many more. So with that, let's take a fresh look at the Shawnee Backpack Trail in southeast Ohio, June of 2011. We're off to another backpacking adventure, Christian and I and Jaden. We are driving through the absolute boonies of southeastern Ohio to Shawnee State Park and the Shawnee Loop Trail, or Shawnee Backpack Trail. It's a 40-mile trail. The one big difference with our hike today is it's smoking hot and there's some big hills. This is kind of knobstone trail-like terrain, so this could be highly entertaining. Well, we made it to the trail. It is smoking hot. We're doing down here, so the trail starts somewhere down here. We'll figure it out. Get registered and get going here. We are geared up and ready to go. A couple hours into it, Jaden was really kind of, we were getting a little concerned about him, so Christian now has Jaden's pack. I am so soaked you can't even possibly imagine it. Every shred of clothing I have is absolutely soaked. Clouds come over, it cools off a little bit, but there's not a lot of breeze to cool us off. I just got a tick off me. Christian had one on him, literally 100 yards into the trail. So they're here. It's still very warm, so. What do you think of that, Christian? What'd you say before?
It's gross.
Now what did we say the dual survivor guys would have done?
Drink it.
It's like a jungle in here, because it is a jungle in here. It hasn't cooled off. We got about 3.5 miles to go. This is a nice little hill. Jaden's really hot, so Christian's carrying his pack again. Goes all the way to the top of that ridge. Hasn't cooled off a bit, and there's not one tiny bit of breeze. It's 90 and about 100% humidity. This is jungle hot. Oh, another lovely hill. I'm getting worn out. My lips started getting numb. I don't know if it was from the 100% DEET bug spray I put on or heat stroke. We only have about half a liter of water left, but we only have about 1.5 miles, 2 miles to go to camp. What a day. Learned a lot about hiking when it's 90 plus degrees and 1,000% humidity with no wind whatsoever. Basically, I learned you don't really want to do it. Christian's a trooper, man. He just motors up these hills. I finally told him on this one, I said, just go, I'll meet you at the top. All right, break's over. Are my lips blue? This is what the trail has become just before camp number 6. It's been like this for probably the last 1.5 miles. This is some pretty serious bushwhacking here. We're very hopeful that the stream, the year-round, always flowing stream that goes through the campground is in fact, whoa, look at the size of that tick. What? On Jaden's tail. We thought it was tick heaven at that other place. This is tick nirvana then. We're hoping we're almost to camp number 6 because we're both pretty much toast. Jaden is happy. Christian is happy because we've arrived at camp 6.
We drank 1.5 already because we're dying of thirst. But we have unlimited water. We have our campsite. Jaden's cooling off. Christian's cooling off. We can relax and recover here a little bit. That was a really, really, really hard day. I think we wore my dog out. Here's our camp. What a great spot, huh? There's our stream down there. Christian built a great fire.
Needs more firewood.
I gotta go find more firewood, but there's, you can see we've got everything kind of strewn out. We washed all our clothes in the river and we're drying them, smoking them in the fire. We've got the Mountain House lasagna. We've got the cheddar, this is the cheddar cheese spread, which we're just now getting ready. Oh, it's actually down there, getting ready to consume. Christian's got a cup of hot chocolate. We've got dry clothes on, we got a fire. I'm up there in the trees and the birds chirping, and we still have, I think again, that's the sun kind of setting, so it's cooled off. We're in this, these are all giant Canadian hemlocks. It's just absolutely beautiful. Not a bad little camping spot. We paid the price for it today. Christian is feeling perfect, the beauty of youth. Oh, to be 16 again. I'm not feeling perfect.
Doing our crackers. Do I look like Jaden? Oh. I always give the first one to Jaden, and I was even looking like Jaden, and he just.
It is the morning of day number 2. There's my coffee water boiling away, which is, let me actually go turn that off carefully here. There's my little drip coffee thing with Dunkin' Donuts coffee in it. That's where we slept. Christian's still sleeping. Jaden actually slept outside right there. Just a quick look at the setting here this morning. The trail, we'll head out on the trail that way. The trail actually progresses behind that wood. It goes down all along the stream. Down in that direction, you saw that some of the terrain was like there. When we climbed in that tent last night, to say it was unbearably hot does not do it justice. I was sitting there, and it was about as uncomfortable as I've ever been. All of us were. No sheets on, just laying flat on the mattress with the paw print covering, just sweating profusely. Jaden was very uncomfortable, and he was hot and wet and putting off an enormous amount of heat, and I knew he was covered with ticks, so I was getting creeped out about everything that would crawl on me. Finally, probably after about an hour of that misery, I couldn't take it anymore, so I sat up, got my headlamp out, and just started checking for ticks, and found about 4 ticks. First time ever I kicked Jaden out. And so what I did was I put him right, I was sleeping on this side, literally with my head almost against the netting, and then his head was almost touching mine on the other side, so I think he felt very comfortable being that close to me. We're not in any particular hurry to get going this morning. Christian wanted to sleep in a little bit. We've only got, well, 10, 11 miles to go to where we had planned to camp, which is campsite number 3, and I don't think the terrain's as severe as yesterday. I guess I could be fooled by that again. Figure we'll probably head out about hopefully 10 o'clock or so, and that would get us into camp early afternoon. It's like another hot, humid day. Humidity is what you can't feel here. I mean, my skin, it's cool. It's probably in the low 70s, relatively cool, but it's clammy. It's just like in a jungle, because that's pretty much what we're in. I'm not actually intending to take, it wasn't my purpose to take a picture or a video of the fire, but I noticed the inside of the lens from all the moisture was actually fogged on the inside, so I think it's cleared up now, but maybe some of those last pictures are a little bit cloud-like, so a little action in front of the fire got rid of that moisture nicely, and nearly also got rid of all the hair on the back of my fingers quite nicely too. This is a lot of work. And my back's sore. Not a bad spot to do it, huh? This is our breakfast. We're having bacon and Diner Deluxe scrambled eggs. This was Oscar Mayer shelf stable bacon that we're crisping up a little bit. Diner Deluxe scrambled eggs. That's breakfast, and we're gonna put it in a burrito. Diner Deluxe scrambled eggs are finished. You got bacon and herbs and spices and stuff in there. Christian is fixing the fire, and Jaden's getting geared up for the day. We are about ready to leave Camp 6. All the packs are ready. This is what's left of our camp, which is nothing. Beautiful day, but it's already 80 degrees and 100% humidity. So I don't think it's going to be a whole lot cooler than yesterday. Maybe we'll get some rain or something. We'll get this show on the road. You ready? Mm-hmm. All right, here we go. This is like an oasis in the desert. Do I look hot? We came to the top of Mount Everest, basically, or at least it felt like it, in the heat and going through the bushwhacking jungle. This isn't the trail, but that's about what it looked like. Got to the top of this ridge, went the wrong way for about a half mile down a Forest Service road because we had to go this way. We went the other way, of course. Camp number 5 is down this way about a quarter of a mile. We're getting ready to go back into the woods, bushwhacking here for another mile or so, and then we've decided there's this road, I think actually, this Forest Service road that they use to service and fill these water things, basically parallels the trail and gets us down to where we're going. So once we get through the bushwhacking part for the next mile here, I think we're going to do a little bit of a road walk for a bit. The trail's not well maintained and it's really eggy and bushwhacky. Tons of blowdowns, poison ivy, ticks. Got about a mile of the trail and then we'll have some fun here for a little bit. But little lunch break. We're having peanut butter on tortillas and letting Jaden cool off a little bit. He is not handling the heat well. Well, believe it or not, this is the trail. We got off the road and this is our well-maintained snakes. Well, all kinds of manner of critters in here.
Christian's a little scared.
Oh man, ow, right in the neck. See, there's the trail sign, and obviously, well, maybe not obviously because it all kind of looks the same, but that's where the trail goes. You can kind of understand why we're looking forward to doing a little bit of road walking here. There's the blazes, just to confirm it. But what you can't see is, well, number one, generally it just goes straight up and down these ridges. They're making it easy on us right now by actually going kind of sideways across the ridge. But number two, the thing you can't feel, this is like 90 degrees. Imagine being in a sauna where somebody's just adding the water on to the lava, the hot lava rocks. That's what this feels like. It makes me realize what the poor troops in Vietnam or these Costa Rica jungle type training go through, because that's exactly what this feels like. Here, I'll show you my feet. See how fast we're going on this lovely downhill? You go basically as fast downhill as you do uphill so you don't kill yourself. This sucker is just brutal. You're either going straight up a hill at about a 30-degree incline or straight down a hill at a 30-degree incline. Come on, Jaden. Jaden's really lagging. Don't know if his feet are bothering him or if the heat's just killing him or what. This is really getting to be a test. So we're putting the booties on him. First time in a while. Hopefully if it's his paws, this will take care of it. Well, in case you think I'm whining about the nature of this trail, we just decided what this feels like with all these noises in the background. The 90-degree stifling heat. We feel like we're in Jurassic Park. Yes, this is in fact the trail, and you can see we've actually put the booties on Jaden. He was really lagging, but that's where we came from. Yeah, that's our well-maintained Shawnee Backpack Trail. It's nuts. I mean, it's just absolutely insane. Look what we're walking in. Yeah, I think the term for this is serious bushwhacking, just so you can see what I'm trying to set my feet down on here. And then Christian, of course, is worried about snakes. Did we miss? Look on the GPS, Christian. I don't see a blaze anywhere. Oh yeah, there's one right on that tree. Here's the trail. Oh, so obvious. Look at the blaze with the poison ivy covering the trees. Be really careful there, Christian. You know, we've decided that the fun's kind of gone out of this. Somewhere with Jaden, worrying about Jaden having a heat stroke or his feet are killing him. Worrying about us dying. Worrying about ticks. Worrying about heat stroke. Worrying about breaking my leg. Okay, viewers.
Now is the trail.
Yeah, who can? Oh, look, there it is. We found the trail again. I sort of feel like Lewis and Clark or something. This is crazy. We've got like a mile of this to go. We're on what's called Massey Hollow right now. We came down from 1,200 feet where we were with the water video, and we're at about 900 feet now. But at the end of this hollow, we hit a road, and that road basically parallels the trail all the way to where we're camping. Oh shit, ow.
You alright?
That was nice. That's called a wet rock. I think I'll put the camera away. We've made it to the trail the rest of the way. Actually, there's the trail somewhere over there in that jungle, and then it goes back into the jungle there, but we've decided this is a state forest road. They're actually doing some logging here. Kind of parallels the trail, may add a little bit of distance to it, but we won't be bushwhacking, and there's a nice little breeze going right now, and we'll be able to maintain a lot better pace. So I think we probably have a little bit further distance to go this way, but maybe not. Well, we've been the recipients of some amazing trail magic. Jaden was starting to have some very serious issues with his feet, and we started getting into a little bit of a serious situation there. We were on this road and he wouldn't go any further, and we finally cooled him off enough. I don't know if it was heat issues. I mean, he's been suffering from the heat really severely, or his paws, or both, but he just sat down and wouldn't go on. We finally cooled him down and put the booties back on him and got out to this road, and a pickup truck came by and has offered to give us a ride to the state park campground. We're feeling much better than we were about 20 minutes ago. We were starting to have a dual survivor moment. We're in the back of this guy's pickup truck, just kind of enjoying not having to walk right now. This has been kind of a crazy trip, this one, but it's picking up now. We'll see how it goes from here. Jaden is getting the booties removed, and it wasn't exactly the way we expected to get here, but we're back at the car. The guy gave us a ride all the way here, and I'll tell you what, that was a lot longer than we thought it was. That would have been really painful. We've exited the world of backpackers and rejoined the modern world of car camping right now, but there comes a time in every trip when you know, well, when it's just time to pull the plan B trigger. And I didn't pull the camera out when we were in the middle of that, but it was a pretty uncomfortable and scary situation for a long time there. And like I told Christian as we were riding over here, it was no longer fun. And when the fun is gone, it's time to start rethinking your plan. And when you're sitting there worried about your dog dying from heat stroke, the fun is gone, definitely gone. This trail got the best of us. This trip took a different kind of turn than we expected, but we're good to go. We got the recipients of some just amazing trail magic, which tells you a few things about people in life. And that's pretty neat. He said he knew we looked like good people. He thought I was a Baptist. So, guess I got that going for me.